Greetings one and all. How's everyone doing? I hope well. I've been seeing a lot of questions on Facebook about how to about what tents to pick and whatnot. So I thought I'd do a video on my tent here, some of the features I looked for and some of the things I did when I bought it, like what I was looking for feature wise. So I'm only going to show this one as a as a way of representing. But whatever tent you want to get, it's really up to you. So I'm gonna bust this out and then kind of go over it. So okay, so I actually talked about this tent in another video, but this is my ground sheet. I bought a tarp and I just cut it to fit, which is really nice because first of all, ground sheets are like 40 bucks. And by doing it this way, not only did I save a lot of money, but I was also able to cut the sheet to fit the tarp, or fit the tent, I mean. And I included the vestibules, something that the ground sheets don't offer, but they don't cover the vestibules at all. They only cover just the tent body. Now they do have grommet holes for to pin down the tent, but the weight of the tent, I think it suffices to keep the sheet from flying around. I've never had any problem with it other than laying it down when it's windy. But once you get it down and get tent on top, piece of cake. So, little tip for you. And all I did is I took a pen and rather than going straight down, I actually curved it inward and went about an inch in and just traced it all the way around and just cut it with a pair of scissors. Done. So, piece of cake, 8 bucks. Saved me some money on the ground sheet. Alright, all set up. So easy to do, it's ridiculous. All they do is they just clip into the bottom on each side, and it has these pull clips here, and they just snap right on, and then the top piece. So, piece of cake. Now, so what I wanted a tent. The first thing I looked at is how many seasons. So I went with a 3-season tent for that reason, because it rains a lot here. I've never done any winter camping, so I didn't look for a 4-season tent. I only looked for a 3-season. So that's what I was looking for. I wanted something that would keep the rain off me for the most part. My first tent was a northern exposure. I didn't feel like digging out of storage. But it had the sleeve construction, so the fly would lay right on the body of the tent, and while it was raining, it literally was dripping down on me while I was laying my tent. And I had waterproofed. I sprayed on some waterproofing to prevent that from happening, and it happened anyway. Also, it didn't breathe very well at all, and I had a lot of condensation from breathing out, even during the summer. So I wanted one that vented well. I wanted one that was going to be long enough, because I'm 6'1", and wide enough, because I can't tell you how many dozens of times I've crawled into my tent and just flopped back on my back and just lay there and let the relaxation just sink in. Dozens of times I've done that. So I wanted one that was wide enough for that. And actually, well, my now ex-girlfriend and I, we both slept in here, and we were very comfortable. Side by side, no problem. Vestibule on each side. Some have only on one side. I wanted one on the other side. One side for storage, and the other side for getting in. So I wouldn't have to crawl over my stuff. And I wouldn't have to drag all my packs and whatnot into the tent with me. Sometimes I will have a bag, like in the back corner with like my clothes. Sometimes I'll often will change my shirt out or my socks before crawling into my sleeping bag. Keeps the sleeping bag cleaner when I do that, so that's a good perk. Also, this whole tent, fly, stakes, and the core, and the aluminum poles, 5 pounds. I think the tarp has just a couple ounces, but I wouldn't go anywhere without the tarp, just because it keeps the bottom of the tent, excuse me, safe. and whatnot. So 5 pounds. So I could, and I have, carried this on my back, carried this on a backpack. It was light enough for that. You know, at 5 pounds. I mean, that might seem a lot for a tent, but you know, like I said, when you're crawling at the end of the day and you can stretch out fully, because you know it's 7 feet long, so I have enough room to stretch all the way out and room to stretch out my arms. It made the weight worth it. Plus, when I slept with my girlfriend, you know, we were both in here together, very comfortable. So, perks for that. The zipper doors are really nice. No problems with these whatsoever. Never had a hang. And there's a double zipper, so you can actually have these up towards the top if you wanted to. And I talked about this in my does a tent make a good shelter, in the fact that with all the mesh, it keeps the bugs out. Nice airflow, has mesh on all 4 sides. Air comes in and out very nicely. I'm actually not going to use the fly tonight because it's like 90 today. Even though I'm in the shade, so it's a pretty warm day. So I'm actually going to put a tarp up over the tent, and I'm going to get maximum airflow. It's going to be great. I might do a little clip at the end. Oh, what else for features? I think that's about it. That's pretty much all I looked for. I really wanted something simple. Didn't really want anything too complicated. It's got a little gear loft above for like your headband or whatever. It's got some pockets on the inside for like other gear. I actually have dryer sheets shoved in there. A little tip I got from a friend. Keeps your tent a little fresher when it's, you know, stored up. And a rumor has it dryer sheets keep the bugs away too. So I don't know if that's necessarily true. However, if it, you know, if it helps, I'll do it. So there you go. I don't think there's much else I can talk about really. As far as features go, I think that's about it. So that's all I really look for in a tent, you know. Weight, features, length, width, breathability, packability. Now I know they don't make this style anymore. They have a 2.2, which I've not used or seen. I mean, I've seen them on the website, but I haven't seen them up close. I wouldn't have no problem buying it. I think I bought this at Campmore for $149. Well worth the money in my opinion. I've been using this tent for several years. I think this is like my 4th year I've owned it. Because I owned the other one for about a year and I couldn't take it anymore. I said, you know, I can't stand getting all wet. Actually, no, I think I had it 3 years. 3 years? Well, 3 or 4 years. So more than a year. So, well, I hope this helps. At least get a good idea of what I was thinking when I bought this. Thanks for watching as always. And I'll catch you in the next one. If you have any comments or suggestions, things that you look for in a tent or videos, post them below and we'll keep a discussion going. Maybe it'll help somebody out. Someone's first time shopping for tent. Your input might be very valued to them. So, alright, see ya.